Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This Friday, the 3rd of October 2014. This is John Faraclas from All About Shipping in London with a recapitulation of the markets and, of course, with the world geopolitics affecting sale. We are on the 8th week of the markets that the Baltic Dry Index stands just above the 1,000 points mark, so at 1,037 points, closing early this afternoon, 4 points down since yesterday. And on the other hand, it was 12 points down since last week's 1,049 points. As you know very well, this is the worst year, and of course it started a very bad year in January, the worst for 30 years with a dropping market. This drop now is expressed today at 1,210 points, 53.8% to be precise for the analyst. I have to be cynical. We have to be cynical because they have heard views about the market since last year and nothing comes according to their plans. So this is very serious. Who takes the responsibility to advise beneficial owners, which is in particular the banks that they hold the strings, people in the markets with listed companies? This is very, very serious. Any excuse, I'm sorry, we cannot take it. Whether you like it to wear my former sea broker's cap and tell you about valuations and things like that and market projections, whatever you like it, please, you dear analysts, behave yourselves, okay? You will make it worse, okay? The BCI, the Baltic Cape Size Index, was down again 30 points since yesterday at 1,758 points. Again, that was 94 points since last week's closing of 1,852. The only signs, as you will see, that has gained was the Baltic Panamax Index, which was up 8 points at 887 points, which is 80 points above last week's closing of 807. That's good. And of course, we don't hide our preference to this size and to the investors' interest to invest in appropriate, of course, Panamax ships of any type in the dry markets. The BSI was down 5 points at 1,028, which of course was 25 points down since last week's closing of 1,053. The BSI was down just 1 point at 530 and up 4 points since last week's 526. So once again, you know, for a second week in a row, we have a downwards dry market. The wet market too, it was a bit of mixed feelings and disappointment. The Baltic Dirty Tanker Index remained unchanged at 639 points, but was up 31 points since last week's 608 points. So something to be joyful for. The cleans and the respective index, the Baltic Clean Tanker Index, closed down 3 points at 575 points, and that was of course up from last week's 554 points. Mixed feelings here again. Let's now go to the heavyweight of today's reporting. Geopolitics. Ukraine. Looks like for another Western fiasco there, but you know, when two ships collide, as you know very well from marine insurance, it's the both to blame collision clause to count. Okay? So it is very, very important, and let's see what will come out from the latest clashes there. The entire Middle East area and its periphery is getting into more mess. The ISIL or ISIS, whatever you would like to call it, the same who they are. The latest things producing, was an expected upheaval of what is going on, and we should feel more tremors. The Islamic State issues, very clearly what they're going to do and what we should expect. So be braced for despicable situations. I wonder those supposed to be aides of President Obama and the other political leaders, can they see that their policy is not paying off? Okay. The latest beheading of the British aid worker Alan Henning there, it is just by word despicable, but it is more there, So as we have said, winners talk, losers they don't talk, and either we get in and we smash them completely under a policy, a coherent policy, or else, those who really run the show are the military. And the military should not be influenced by politicians for other vested interests in the region there. Okay? And it's not just the interest, it's religion and many other issues. So let the military, if you order the military, they know dead well how to get rid of this ISIL. I am for a full-scale smashing project to get rid of them. We don't like it. It will affect our industry, shipping. And then you can see the reaction of the shipping community. Okay? Now, Libya, what a state of affairs. I have nothing else to say when the mobsters run the ports. Europe, with a big mess there. Greece is another mess. And let's have the press cool down worldwide of what is going on in Greece. The Greek parliamentarians, they have to stay pat and, fix what they have done all these years. To go to elections, to elect a president and so forth is all sounds nice. Particularly the opposition, who have lived the last years, the big change of Greeks with the socialists at the time being in opposition, they took the power and you can see the mess they have created. What all parties are saying is nonsense. If it was for business, none of them would have any position in a shipping company to begin with. Okay? The Far East, well, now Far East, except all these South China Sea issues there, the tongue as we call it, with Vietnam and China, Philippines, Japan and the rest there in the region. Now we've got an uprising in Hong Kong. What is going? It's not a nice thing to see what is happening in Hong Kong. Okay? So we must make sure that Hong Kong does not erupt. Both sides, they have to live with reality. Okay? Africa. It seems to me that now the society is coming slowly to terms with the Ebola. The Ebola is spreading, not only in Africa, but in other countries worldwide, as far as America and the Far East. So this is very, very serious. And of course, the seriousness comes because trade travels, ships are sailing, and so forth, and it is very, very important with whom we come in contact. This is important. So we have, to make sure that we curb illegal immigration, which in the Mediterranean the last week was over 1,000 illegal immigrants, and Europe is to blame for this. The Lloyd's List Global Awards was, as always, a great event there, honoring the great and important people in our industry. Equally, one of the greatest events of the last 30 years, in my view, was Phantom's Ship Efficiency 2 days conference at Queen Elizabeth II Conference Hall at Westminster. What was discussed there, it will bother us for the next 25 or so years. Of course, there's a difference between eco-ships and eco-shipping. They're two different issues. But congratulations to the organizers, Phantom, of setting up an amazing conference, one of the best. I was unlucky, of course, because, I had my hiccup, with my bad health, with my back, and I missed quite a lot. But I can assure you, the IMO debate and a couple of other speeches I've heard and demonstrations, they were great. The quality of the speakers was far above the top marks. So congratulations again. Shipping the 21st Century is coming up. The event jointly by the Maria Chakos Foundation and Capital Link at the Eugenidian Foundation in Greece. That's a very important event taking place. We will advise you. This takes place on the 8th of October in Athens. We will remind you, of course, that the countdown of the WISTA International AGM and conference is taking place in Cyprus between the 7th to the 10th of October, and we will be there to cover the event. We are strong supporters of WISTA, and we're sure that Despina Panagiotou Theodosiou and her team there, we will surprise us all. We're looking there to see the big connect, the catchword that they have invented there, and this is the catchword. Shipping is connecting, and connecting produces business, further development, and well-being. Now, don't forget the 3-day events, the 3 conferences coming up from Capital Link, one in New York on the 23rd on the ETFs forum. Then we got in London on the 4th of November, the shipping and the CSR, offshore the CSR conference in London there, and of course the 16th annual Greek Investors Forum in Greece, which takes place on the 1st of December. Intermodal Europe will take place in Rotterdam, Ahoy, on the 11th to the 30th of November. A great event to be there. Be there. It's an event that pays off. Cadwallader's organizers, the London Shipping Law Centre, and the supporters are doing this very big event on the 25th there It's a very big event there, and we wish people don't miss it. You know, there are some tickets available, as we have found out, but only very, very few. Of course, we got not just remember the 5th of November. On the 5th of November, of course, is prior to these events, the International Maritime Industries Forum, headed by the iconic Jim Davis, will give its annual dinner and his important speech there to the industry. All the great and the big will be there too. On another note now, about our holidays, let's go south in this winter time to Falkland Islands. Something very special to see in the south part of the world. With this, we wish you a nice weekend and be on guard of the events taking place. This is John Faraclas from All About Shipping in London. Over and out.